So I wanted to continue showing you guys how to work with QuickBooks, and for your project, I'm going to build a file out for an apparel company, as we said. And in this first part, the midterm project, it's just to do some sales, just to show the expenses. So I believe last time we left off with how you zeroed out or had zero quantity on hand for each of your inventory. Okay, if you still need to do that, all you have to do is adjust starting value if you had a value other than 0 in your inventory, and you can just simply put it 0 here. But really, you're starting fresh, and the way to increase your inventory once it is 0, you either entered it 0 or update it to 0, is to click on reorder right here. Once you click on reorder, you have a purchase order. You might have to create a new vendor here. You could say new vendor, and you could say provider, whatever that, could be your factory. You could say China factory, okay, for example. And you might say, how many of these I'm getting? I'm getting 100 of these. 100 of these men's shirts at $25, and it will ask you for an email, and that's fine. You can just put an email, or I may not ask you for an email, but this way, what it does is essentially it wants to send a purchase order. And boom, it sends a purchase order now. It does it that you kind of, in a way, you're sending your factory the purchase order now to buy these shirts. Now you can go expenses. It shows you your vendor here. What happened is that you have a purchase order here for $2,500 in the pipeline, and what you got to do is create the bill. And once you've created the bill, you can say, okay, let's see here, add all, or how does it, let's see, okay, you added all, the whole bill to it. You could have done a partial, but you could say save and new. Now that you have it, this bill has been saved. Now that you have a bill, let's see here, where can you find this bill? Open bill. So here you go. This is kind of your unbilled, your billed, paid. This is what I've paid in the past. So your open bill is here. You click make a payment. Make sure you select the cash account here, cash on hand that we had funded earlier, and everything is selected. You say save and new. Okay, and now what happened was you can go back to your product and services and make sure that your inventory has now increased. So I think we did the quantity at hand. We increased the shirt quite a bit. What you can do now is you can go and create sales, right? So that's what we're going to work on next. But first, make sure in this first piece you're stocked up on the inventory, and you have this inventory in place. And just to go back over, how do you, in case you haven't funded your account yet, in order to fund your account with money, you have to go here. If you don't have the cash on hand account yet, you might have to click on add new, bank, cash on hand. Description is optional. You don't even need to have it, but you need to have it right here, bank, cash on hand. And then once you have that account, I already have it here, you would put, this is what you're funding essentially from the owner, and this account would be owner's investment, and that's how you put it in. I already did this, but you would essentially say save in new, then you would have those funds in your account to fund your purchases of your inventory. And in the next video, we'll continue sales and expenses so that you could round out your entire file for this project.